AI receptionists are very possible right now, basically getting inbound calls. But if I build an AI sales team that actually do outreach, do you actually think this is technically possible?
Yeah, absolutely. The technical pieces are there. Large language models can handle real time conversation, voice synthesis is solid, and connecting to phone APIs is straightforward. The real bottleneck isn't the tech, it's the regulatory and practical stuff. So, what makes outreach different from inbound? You're initiating contact, which means you're hitting compliance walls. Do not call lists, state by state telemarketing laws, potentially needing explicit consent. That's way messier than answering phones. What's your take? Are you thinking B2B outreach where those rules are looser or something else?
No, I've searched about this before. If I'm not wrong, cold calling office lines, right, is technically not illegal. And I guess the main problem is that with cold calling outreach, right, there's many variables involved, and probably it will be hard for the AI agent to handle it, I guess.
You're hitting on the real challenge. Yeah, cold calling has way more unpredictability than inbound. You're dealing with gatekeepers, unexpected objections, people hanging up, getting transferred randomly, hostile responses. An AI needs to handle those curveballs smoothly without sounding robotic or losing the thread, which is genuinely harder than answering, "Hi, how can I help?" What specific variables worry you most? Like, is it the conversation flow or more about knowing when to pivot tactics?
I guess the conversation flow. And sometimes, I mean, it really depends on what you sell, right? If you're selling a very simple B2B product, I guess maybe you can still keep the variables to a very minimal. But if you're selling a very complex product, sometimes the prospect may ask you many questions right at the start. And maybe it's pretty tough to train the AI to do so. I guess my concern is that is it worth the time to invest in this?
Right, that's the real question. Is the ROI there? Here's the thing. If your product is complex, prospects are asking deep questions right away, which means they probably need a human who understands the nuance anyway. But if it's simpler, think standardized B2B services. An AI could handle initial qualification and filter out the tire kickers before handing off to a real salesperson. So maybe it's not either or, but whether it makes sense as a first pass filter for your specific product. What does your product actually look like?
What if do you think it's possible to build like a MVP version? Then maybe we can try out.
Totally. That's the smart move. Build something that handles maybe one specific pitch with simple objection handling, test it on like 10 calls, and see what actually breaks. You'll learn way more from real conversations than theorizing. And honestly, even a rough MVP might qualify a few leads if your product is straightforward enough. What would your absolute minimum pitch look like? Like, what's the one thing you'd want the AI to say, and the two or three objections it needs to handle?
Okay, to be honest, I just need them to get past the gatekeepers. But okay, I think I get an idea now. Thanks.